So I am sitting here in my analytics of my YouTube channel, and besides Houston, Texas, I have noticed Cypress, Texas has moved up into the ranking of what you guys are searching more than any other suburb in Houston, Texas. Now, it is personally one of my favorite suburbs here in Houston. And what is it about Cypress, Texas that has so many of not only the local residents, but you guys moving here wanting and desiring to live in Cypress, Texas? If it wasn't on your list, it really should be. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing all the major roads, sections. We're going to go through all of the different school districts. We're going to talk about some pros and cons of living in Cypress, Texas. And then we're going to pull up the map and we'll do kind of a search of homes. There's a vast difference, in fact, of tax rates, over 1%. So you're talking sometimes upwards of $5,000 to $10,000 a year more in property taxes by going to certain spots. So if you've even thought about moving out to this area of Houston, Texas, you're not gonna wanna miss this. But what I gotta do is I need to go jump onto the map, and I'm gonna walk you through all the different sections, all the different neighborhoods, master plan communities, and show you some of these different tax rates. So the most important thing, look, there's over 600 different schools in Houston. There's tons and tons of different suburbs. You gotta understand the lay of the land. It's most important. So that's what we're going to do first. All right, so as we can see here, this right here is Cypress, Texas. If we select it, it might give us a little bit of a boundary there. And it's really important that you understand there's really two different sections, and not only the two different sections, but it's almost two different landscapes. And we'll talk about that here in a second, what really makes Cypress special. But you have downtown Houston right here. This highway out here is the 290, so you're going to hear it referenced a lot about the 290, north of it, south of it. But the 290 separates Cypress, Texas from kind of the older, more original, and it's not that old. Trust me, wait till you hear some of these statistics about the schools here and just how many of them there are and how new. But this is an area that really was nothing going on out there. In fact, Joe, my business partner, talked about it all the time. Growing up, born and raised in Houston, nothing but cow fields out here, right? So it still has some remnants of that, which is awesome because you can really quickly, within minutes, get into, farm fields, beautiful, and that's it. So you have the 290. If you really zoom out, you'll understand or see that it is just really a direct shot out here to Austin, Texas. So quick for your day trips if you want to roll over to Austin. One other very important factor about Cypress is you've got this beautiful new 99 tollway. So right at the edge of it, you will start seeing that you have the big outlet malls. So this is a big, big, big shopping center. I'm talking everything and anything that you could ever want, from the outlet malls to just this giant strip of restaurants right here that you're probably seeing in the drone footage. Now we have a couple different sections of Cypress. Right here, this is all to the north. This is kind of some of the original neighborhoods of Cypress right here, like Fairfield. Now I've gone in there. I did a bunch of cruising in there with my baby boy, Jetty. We call him the Ripper Magoo, on the e-bike along these ponds. There was people out there fishing, a lot of people walking. And when we show, on the map here, this is HAR, Houston area real estate. If we jump in here to Fairfield, the one thing I just want to show you real quick is if we just select any house, we'll get in here. This is a house that's it's 745 right now. It's almost 6,000 square foot, so getting a lot of bang for your buck, here in Cypress compared to the Woodlands or some of those areas. And if we go down, we're going to notice year build 2004. When I was looking earlier, there's a lot of homes from that 2000 to 2004 range. So anywhere from about 18 to 23 years old, give or take. And what that's going to do is if we scroll down here, we're going to notice this tax rate here. Don't forget that, okay? 2.6%. It says with the 2021 taxes is about 12,000. This is where I really want you guys to understand that these numbers vary drastically, and it is individualized per property. If you didn't see that yet, I did a whole video on moving to Texas and the cost of living, and I broke down property taxes, but I will do it again here right now. I do want to take a second and just give you a minute. There is my contact information, my number, email. It's also down in the pinned comment and the description below. Take a second and write it down. We're the #1 relocation team here in Houston, Texas, helping hundreds of clients move and relocate here. It's all of our focus. That it is relocation. So copy this down. Make sure you send us an email or a text and schedule your Zoom consultation with us so that we can go 10 times more in detail than I'm showing you here for you personally. So what we'll do is we'll scroll out. This is again kind of more the original. You've got houses 15, 20 years old in here, and you've got tax rates of 2.6%. But if we go ahead and look at something real quick, right here on greatschools.org, you're going to notice, you know, here in just the top 5, 6, you've got multiple schools in Fairfield that are going to be in the top ranking, not only in Cypress, but really in the state of Texas. Another thing that I really loved about going into some of those neighborhoods in Cypress was that they were all connected well, and they were very easy to get around. Look, I got 3 kiddos, man. They're on bikes, they're on scooters, and they got to be able to get around. Some older neighborhoods, you're not going to see a lot of sidewalks here. Yes, believe it or not, you will see a lot of neighborhoods with no sidewalks. It makes it a lot more difficult to get around. This one, I mean, not only just in your neighborhood specifically, but to all of the neighboring parks, to all of the ponds, to all of the, did I just say parks? Yeah, to all the parks. It is very easy to stay on paths the entire time. Next up, what I want to do is talk about 2 of the most popular areas. And again, we've helped almost 200 clients move and relocate here and buy a house. And one of the areas that they're loving is Cypress. And it really has come down to some of these 2 areas. So Bridgeland is always getting ranked up there as one of the best master plan communities. It's got some of the top schools, as you can see again, the Bridgeland Lake right here. And then you're going to notice a couple of these ones here. Those are going to be right here in your Cypress Ranch High School area. You've got some elementaries and the Smith Middle School. These are going to be some of your top ranked schools in the country. And this is very important. Please, if you would, leave me a comment down below right now listing the top 2 or 3 areas that you are thinking about moving to here in Houston. I'm going to collect all of that data, and then that will allow me to understand what sections and cities you want to see most, and I will shoot those videos. So please just leave yourself a note, pause the video, whatever you have to do, and leave me that comment so that I can see where you guys want to move. And also, we have the #1 channel showing you everything you need to know about Houston, Texas. So if you're getting anything out of these videos, they're helping you, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because I am doing the most in-depth videos that you will find about moving to Houston. Now, one thing that you're going to notice here is Fry Road. Yes, F-R-Y. This is a major divider between, basically, Bridgeland is down here. And if we zoom in here, we're going to start noticing you got Town Lake right down here. So if we hit the old lay of the land here, this is an actual boatable lake. It is man-made. The only other boatable lakes are going to be Lake Conroe up to the north and Lake Houston over to the east. But you will, and we have taken clients on boats on this lake. So there is a lot of, you know, houses and stuff being built on the lake where, you know, most of this is already built out. These are old pictures, but you do have all of your shopping. You have a bunch of spots right here that you can actually boat up to. You can see the boat slips right there. And then right here, this is a massive, massive pool, lazy river. You got beach volleyball. They even built sand for, you know, swimming right there. I was hanging out one day and all the moms were here with their golf carts. They're all chatting, hanging out, probably having a little mimosa during the day, and the kids were going bananas. It was during the summer. So you've got this big center here for a lot of functions. And that is one thing that I truly enjoy about some of these Houston suburbs. Everybody's so friendly. You've got such a hodgepodge of people moving from all over the country and all over the world. And then you get these big community centers to where you can go meet people quickly. Hey, and I got a bunch of kids, 10, 7, 3, so I got to find some babysitters. That's the easiest way to find babysitters, so you can go out and have a date night. So again, you've got Town Lake and you have Bridgeland. Bridgeland is really cool. It's, you know, you're going to stretch that budget a little bit more than you will Town Lake, but you still have the amenities and you're really close. Blackhorse Golf Club is probably one of the highest ranked courses there. It's more private, social. So this, if you like, even if you don't want to golf, but you just want to meet a lot of people, a lot of functions, this is going to be a place that you would look into, and you're basically right next door to it. So you got a lot going on here. Basically, everything that you would need is in your neighborhoods, which is super handy. And then if you kind of want to go big time, you can head up here to all of the outlet shop, malls, and everything. But you got a Costco right there. Now you are right on the 99, like I mentioned, so it is a quick shot to head over, you know, to the Woodlands, or, you know, a lot of people work in the energy corridor, you know, Katie, something like this. It is. Here, come here. Monster Jam with you? What? Yeah. Come here real quick. You gotta ask the camera. Say, do you guys want to play monster trucks?
Monster truck?
With who? With you?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's play monster trucks.
Play with a monster truck?
All right, well, I gotta get back to your guys' video, and this guy, you gotta get out of here. Just trying to get a video done here. No big deal, right? But let's get back to it. Again, with the new 99 tollway, which I love. Driving the 99, I've talked about it a lot, is so nice because everything around it is nice and new. And then you have Tomball right here too. So Tomball's got a fun little downtown area to go eat, drink, whatever. They got German festivals. So it's very centrally located and then quick to downtown Houston. Now, the newest, the brand new, spanking new, amazing spot of Cypress is right here. And it is filled with new construction. But I have an actual sponsor for this video and I can't wait for you to see it. This sponsor is, well, my main man JoJo, and he knows everything about the new construction. It's actually the biggest opportunity here in Houston. Joe, let's rip.
Hey, yo, thanks Jackson. So I'm out here in the field. You know how it is right now. 2023, there's a building boom. Builders are holding inventory. They have to-be-built homes. They're contracting from dirt, taking 6 all the way down to 10, 11, 12 months, depending on the size of the house. I'll tell you one of the advantages that we're having out here with our clients and saving them massive amounts of time, because most people have never been here. They come in on a flight, they're here for 1 day, 2 days. And I'll tell you one of the challenges is going into these builders is that we're so huge and massive in these master plan communities that we can kind of really hone it in based off of the feedback we get, because we have so many different clients that have come in and bought in these communities, that have looked in these communities and gone somewhere else, so we can share all that type of insight. Not only that, these sales reps are getting absolutely bombarded with clients coming in and needing their time, so it's so difficult to really just drive in and sit in there. So we got a little bit of a legwork to come in here and do for you guys. So any other questions, you know how it works. Reach out anytime, days, nights, weekends. We got your back when coming to Houston, Texas.
Well, thank you, JoJo. I appreciate all that insight that you have. And what I want to do, let's get you right back over here. So I went out and did a full vlog tour of this. And if we look on the map, this is the Dunham Point. So this is all being built out. It's really the only place left in Cypress that they're building. And it's going to be sharing, you know, some Bridgeland schools that are top ranked. So this puts you right next to the 290 so that you can get on, off quickly, all of your shopping, all your restaurants, everything. It's very centrally located. And as we see here, we will jump down. This is that section. You will notice actually there's a lot under contract here right now, but there's also a lot available. New construction is the biggest opportunity like we both just mentioned, but I do want to go in and look. If we just select, you know, one of these houses here, as you can see, this is just a spec home of what would be built here. But here's something that I have been noticing. This is actually a small one. We're talking reductions of $80,000 to $150,000. Now, this might look negative to you, like, oh my gosh, the prices are dropping. No, it's just getting normal now. What happened was, obviously, these builders had lines of people. They had 6-month waiting lists, and then all of a sudden, with the interest rates creeping up, now they've got all this inventory, and what they're doing is giving incentives. Not only are they doing price reductions, they're doing massive incentives, buying down rates, but they're not doing it without the help of the #1 relocation team, because their goal is selling their product. Our goal is getting you that product for even a better deal and getting way more out of it. So we negotiate that. You don't even have to spend a dime, and you get to work with the #1 relocation in Houston. Again, write that contact information down on the screen you see here. It's also down in the description, so when you get done, you can do it and reach out to us for your free consultation moving here to Houston. Now we're going to discuss a little bit of the cost of living. Obviously, you know, here in Cypress, you're going to have kind of that northern end and the southern end. And if you guys remember, what was that tax rate up to the north? I believe it was 2.6%. So if we scroll down here, what we're going to see is a tax rate of 3.47. Now this is pretty typical. A lot of times in brand new construction areas, you're going to see a higher tax rate. Now with these tax rates, it's not just going straight to that city or that section. It's going to the municipal utility district, like the bonds. They have to put in sewer, they have to tie in water and power. And so what you're doing is paying that down. And so the older the neighborhood is, typically the lower the tax rate is. And this can really vary from city to city. And again, it's individualized. So here on the old screen, what we're going to do is take the number of $500,000. Now, if you were to take a $500,000 house and maybe you bought it up in the Fairfield area and you had a tax rate of 2.6%, that would be $500,000 times 2.6, which would get you $1.3 million. Then for the tax rate, you divide that number by 100, leaving you $13,000 for the year, so just over $1,000 a month. And if you were going to do the same exact math on a $500,000 home down here where it's 3.4%, you're going to see that that would be 500,000 times 3.4, which is 1.7 million, divided by 100, which is going to give you $17,000 a year. So I got another kid trying to break into my room while I'm shooting a video. You're talking about, $4,000 or $5,000 a year difference, right? So that can really start adding up to your payment. But let's talk about something real quick, because you're going to go, hell no, I ain't going down there and paying $5,000 a year more. Well, it's all about location, 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 right? And sometimes buying a brand new construction house, and honestly, the way that our team can negotiate for you, maybe buying down an interest rate, you're not sometimes going to be able to do that on a resale home per se. So we could actually start maybe getting that price down of your monthly payments, negotiating with a builder. The last thing is, when everything is brand new and you're getting all these warranties, now you've got roofs and you've got water heaters and you've got air conditioning units and you got blinds, you got everything nice and new that you don't have to worry about for years and years on end. So again, the last thing you need to do is pigeonhole yourself into an area 100% predicated on just the monthly payment, when we may be able to find a house in your perfect spot that fits your lifestyle, where we can fit your budget. Again, that's why you got to reach out, schedule that consultation, because we're going to break down you personally and ask you, why are you moving here to Houston and how can we help, right? That's what we do. So these are amazing neighborhoods. These are incredible houses. I did full tours of this neighborhood, of these homes, and you're right there where, a lot of things are going to be happening, and I see property values over time really starting to increase. So the thing about getting in now with some of these price reductions is that over time, a lot of people you're not moving here to just live here for 1 year, right? And sell it and try and make money. You may be here 5, 10, 15 years, right? And over that period, especially as interest rates start dipping down again, it's gonna get crazy. So now is the most opportune time to do it, especially with these giant price reductions. When it comes down to the pros and cons of living in Cypress, Texas, I'm not going to get into the generalities of, well, it gets hot in Cypress. Well, of course it does. We're in Houston, Texas. So I feel like the true cons of living in Cypress, Texas would be some of those areas, and having a ton of new construction, you will see higher property taxes. It doesn't seem to be slowing anybody down. It's still probably one of the hottest areas people are really considering, or they are considering moving to and buying homes. It's not an area that we're seeing a ton of reduction in, activity when it comes to home buying there. People are really, really dying to get into Cypress. Now, one of the biggest pros is that Cy-Fair school districts. People are just, I gotta have these incredible schools for my kids, and it ranks 9 out of 10 across the entire Cy-Fair. So, it's ranked nationally. We've talked about this a lot. Now, that is with over 85 different school campuses, 50 plus of those being elementary schools, and with a ranking of them all super high. This is a great place to where you can go in and find a spot maybe in Cypress that has a little bit lower tax rate, if that's something that you're truly worried about. Or you go all out, you go town lake, live on that lake, baby, be able to boat everywhere and have the top schools. But here's one cool thing about it, right? Because some of the areas, even the area that I live in, was developed back in the 70s, 80s, and although we've got incredible schools, some of them are older, right? They have older amenities. In fact, Humboldt ISD, which even serves up in Kingwood where I'm at, they don't even have outdoor gyms for elementaries. It's something that's being built today, right now. They should be done, towards the middle or end of this year in 2023. But that is something where Cyfair, almost 50% of their schools have been built post year 2000. So there's a lot of really nice and new schools because of just the incredible amount of construction and development out that way. Now that can also be a con. This is an area that's going to continue to develop, and you may start seeing a little bit more, traffic in some areas. But a huge pro that I see is that if you're going to get into an area, it's nice to be completely self-sustained with all of your shopping. You've got H-E-B's and Kroger's, you've got movie theaters, you've got really good restaurants, you're right next to the 99, you can get to Katy, Texas, you can get to the Woodlands, you've got outlet malls. But this is an area, again, when we talk about you coming here, planting roots, raising a family, or, retiring, whatever it is, and you're going to live in this property 5-10 years, with that amount of people moving and always highly desiring this area, that means equity is going to go up in your house. And if Cypress, Texas isn't the place for you, that's okay too, because we have helped people move all over the Houston metro. That's what we do. So we need to really figure out what your lifestyle is, what you like, what you don't like. This is what we do in our private consultations, Zoom with you. That is helping you discover your perfect area. But if you haven't yet, this is a video where I did everything you need to know about moving to Houston. I break down costs, I break down all the major sections. This will help you find the perfect section. Then we can narrow it down from there. So go ahead and click that video so that you can discover exactly where you need to move.